to think that you master something and there's nothing else you can learn. That's a dangerous mentality to have. Exactly. It's very self-limiting.
Yeah. I think at some point it was just a train, right? It was just coming at you, right? And then you can't stop that train at that point, right? You just have to pull everyone on board. You know, you have to get this done. The money's there. We have to go. You know,
I mean, you're driving the ship. Mm-hmm. So they want to make sure that you know how to navigate.
Lucky Boys Podcast.
Where it's really a mindset, right? But if you're doing something together, like for example, some people, if they try to quit smoking, or if they try to, we were talking about that because I have to tie it back.
Man. I gotta quit.
But if you try to quit smoking, or if you're trying to lose weight or get fit together, they a lot of times where they find it easier, they have an accountability partner where they work together and they push each other. If one wants to take the day off, I remember when I was trying to get fit for basketball and tryouts and everything back in high school. And, you know, if I wanted to skip workouts, my friend would call me out like, Will, no, we going out. 6 a.m. we're going to run, and then we're going to do push-ups. We're going to shoot 100, 200 jump shots, and then we're going to go to school. And you know, after the third day, I was like, bro, no more, bro. Like, let's just take one day off. Yeah. And he was like, come on, man. Think about the edge we're going to get. Think about how much faster and stronger we'll be than everyone else. And days that he wanted to take off, you know, so we keep each other in check, and we made each other stronger because of that. Is it somewhat like that when you're in a process of making a film like this?
Yeah, I mean, I think in the very beginning, it was definitely like that. It's similar to, I feel like you guys doing this podcast too, right? It definitely helps to have a team member, you know, to keep you going. And, you know, in the early stages, we just met a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we did butt heads a little bit, not too bad. It was just like a little bit like, I don't know, you know, it was just questionable, but it wasn't like no, it was just questionable. But as we got closer and closer, Jason was just like, gotta do what we gotta do. I'm like, I like that. Let's just do it, you know?
Yeah, I think going back to like how it came to be, everything, I think at some point it was just a train, right? It was just coming at you, right? And then you can't stop that train at that point, right? You just have to pull everyone on board. You know, you have to get this done. The money's there. We have to go. You know. So there was like, it was already rolling down the hill, I feel, and we just had to do the best we could.
Yeah, you guys are downplaying it, man, because being a director and DP, director photographer, it is not easy.
No, it's not, man.
It is not easy. And for you guys to do what you guys have done from A to Z, it's insane. It's a huge feat by itself.
I think it's important to let people know that it is day to day. You know, I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but like on every day shoot, you're planning for the next one. You got to keep going, right? It's like it might seem like chaos, but you just have to keep pushing, and that's the way to get it done.
Right? You're getting locations. You're trying to squeeze the best out of the talent that's in front of the camera.
Well, not this talent, because they're master at their craft, so it was a little easy. I was very fortunate.
So the chemistry between the actors just fell in?
Yeah, I mean, like, they knew what to do.
They're pros.
Yeah, they're pros, you know. I mean, they had questions here and there, and I was like, either I answer or I couldn't answer, but always have an answer for everything. But still, they were master of the craft. And I think that's one thing Ty taught in his master class. He said, hey, you're paying us actors, and our job is to make your film look good, even if the script is bad. And I was like, it's true, you know, like, so he executed. I'm not saying the script was bad, but they knew what they were doing. Sure. As a maybe like a 2-year actor who just came from, you know, college, who just came from theater background, they're not going to get that as Ty and Perry would. Right. You know, those guys did theater since they were like in their teenager years.
So the experience, the pedigree that mattered in the production, that was what you're going for.
Absolutely. It wasn't the name, but it's definitely experience. Like, I like to, when I meet actors, I like to ask them like, oh, where were you trained? I had one person said, oh, I don't need school. I'm like, nope, not gonna hire you. Yeah, I'm like, not gonna hire you.
Someone said I don't need school?
Yeah, I don't need school. It's like, it's from the heart. I'm like, no, you're not Marlon Brando, James Dean. Next. Other people be like, yeah, I did this for theater and this. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, well, we'll keep in touch. Here's my Facebook, Instagram. Let's contact, or send me a reel. That's how I, you know, keep in check. The same thing as you're like, hey, Pat, well, where's your work? Like, oh, here's the link to so and so. You know, I think that got people on board because of my previous work. Like, at least with Ronnie, because Ronnie I didn't really know at the time. So I had to, maybe he did or didn't, but I sent the links of my work. Like, here's the links of my work, proof that I have done so and so, and I don't know if you like my style. And I think 40% of the cast, I did that. Like, here's my link. Just not proving myself, but showing like, hey, this is the quality of work I'm producing. So imagine this amount of budget. This is one we'll do with a father son.
I mean, you're driving the ship.
Mm-hmm.
So they want to make sure that you know how to navigate.
Mm-hmm.
And looking at your past work, I mean, you can kind of get an idea, number one, of your growth, which people respect.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you see like the first work, you're like,
Of course.
and then you see the second and the third and the fourth, you're like, all right, this guy, he's growing. He cares about his craft. And in some ways, I find that more respectable when you can see someone's growth and knowledge and just become a much better filmmaker or whatever. You could just see that and you go, you know what, I want to be a part of that growth. You know, because a lot of the times as artists, especially if they're actors, they're also still growing.
Yeah.
Right. I think I heard Denzel say something like that, where he says, I'm still learning.
Yeah, me too. Everyone is.
Right.
Anyone who says they're not learning, that's bullshit, man. Really.
Or it's dangerous to think that you master something and there's nothing else you can learn. That's a dangerous mentality to have.
Exactly.
It's very self-limiting.